Hello, and welcome to another episode of Your Guess, Your Miss. I'm Tracy, and today I really don't want to give no life lesson or no deep revelation, no perfect ending tie up in a bow, just what's on my mind. And maybe you thought about this too. Mm, have you ever felt like you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, but nothing seems to be happening? Like, seriously. You've checked the boxes, you put in the effort, you're showing up, and still nothing. The result seems to be moving at a completely different speed than you are. And I've been asking myself a question lately. Like, where are the results? You know what's funny? People always tell you to do the work. Work on yourself. Go to therapy. Apply for the job. Take a class. Start a business. Take that walk. Take that trip. Drink that water. Get out the house. Heal, grow, become. And that's great advice until you actually do it. But nobody really talk about what happened after. Nobody talk about the part where you're doing the work and still waiting. The part where you're trying and nothing is moving yet. The part where you're exhausted from being patient. And I think a lot of people is in that bubble right now. Not stuck and not giving up, just tired of the waiting. And I know for some people, even for me now, a lot of that feeling I've shown up in searching for job. Like, I've sent application, update your resume, take courses, learning new skills, done the thing people tell you to do, and some days, nothing. No email, no call, no update, just silence. And silence can play games with your mind. Because after a while, you start wondering, am I doing enough? Am I qualified enough? Did I miss my opportunity? Did I wait too long? And then I have to catch myself. Because sometimes silence doesn't mean failure. Sometimes silence just means the story isn't finished yet. And I think what makes it harder is when you can see the effort. You know you've been trying. You know you've been showing up. You know you've been putting in the work. But effort and result don't always arrive together. And that can be very frustrating. Because we're used to cause and effect. Do the thing, get the reward. But life doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you plant seeds and then you wait. And then you wait some more. And then you wonder if anything is growing at all. And sometimes looking around doesn't help. You see people getting married, getting promoted, buying houses, starting businesses, announcing wins, living life. And even when you're genuinely happy for them, a little voice still whispers, well, what about me? Not because you're jealous of it, just because everybody's human. Because we're all trying to figure out where we fit in the timeline in our own lives. But sometimes I spend so much time asking where the results are that I almost miss the progress. Because not everything show up in a paycheck. Not everything show up in a relationship. Not everything show up in numbers. Some results just look like being calm. Or be calmer than you used to be. Walking away from things you wouldn't tolerated before. Being okay by yourself. Having boundaries. Trusting your instinct. Choosing peace. And if I'm honest, some of those things would have been impossible for me a year ago. Or even a few years ago. So maybe results don't always look the way you expected them to. But sometimes that's still not enough. Sometimes I don't want another lesson. Sometimes I don't want another sign. Sometimes I don't want another motivational quote. Sometimes I want the opportunity, the breakthrough, the callbacks, the answer, the result. And I think it's okay to admit that. Because pretending you're okay all the time doesn't make you strong. It just makes you tired, really tired. But you know what? Maybe the problem isn't that nothing is happening. Maybe the problem is we're measuring progress by what we can see. And some of the biggest changes happens quietly, before anybody notices, before the opportunity arrives, before the breakthrough shows up, before the next chapter starts. And maybe that's where I am right now. Not at the finish line, not at the breakthrough, not where I thought I would be, not where I used to be either. And maybe that's worth acknowledging. So if you've been asking yourself, where are the results? I get it. I really, really do. But don't let the waiting convince you that the work isn't working. Keep showing up. Keep trying. Keep becoming. And when you get tired, just take a minute. Then keep going again. Because your story isn't finished yet. I know mine is not. All right. Thank you for sitting with me with another episode of Your Guess, Your Mess. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the places. And if you've ever found yourself asking, where are the results? Drop a comment and let me know. And I'll see you next week.